In our strategy, we work with a 5-phase cycle framework. We are not trying to predict headlines. We focus on signals, sequencing, and phase pressure. This discussion centers on concerns around sovereign debt, dollar confidence, and the role of gold. Rather than debating the narrative, our job is to translate it into mechanics we can actually monitor. The interview features Peter Schiff discussing why the next stress event may differ from 2008. The claim is not about a single asset or a single policy mistake. It is about confidence, funding, and credibility. The key argument is that the next crisis is less about private credit and more about the sovereign itself. That matters because it changes how safe assets behave under stress. In our framework, this immediately points to credit and term premium. If confidence weakens, the cost of funding rises. That is not ideology. That is plumbing. The second layer is the dollar as a funding and reserve instrument. If marginal demand softens, volatility does not show up all at once. It shows up first at the edges. Higher long-end yields are not just about inflation. They are about duration risk and who is willing to hold it. This is where late cycle pressure often begins. Housing is discussed as wealth, but markets clear on affordability. When affordability breaks, activity slows before prices adjust. That lag is important. Taken together, this conversation raises Phase 2 and Phase 3 awareness. Phase 2 compresses multiples and tightens conditions. Phase 3 emerges only if funding stress becomes persistent. Gold here is not a forecast. It is a stress signal that something in the system is being repriced. We treat it as information, not a clock. Quick note before we continue. This discussion is for educational macro context only. It is not financial advice. One asset moving is never enough. What matters is clustering across rates, credit, liquidity, and currencies. That is how regimes actually shift. We watch long-end yields, auction behavior, credit spreads, and dollar stability. If those align, phase pressure increases. If they do not, narratives fade. If this kind of signal-based framing is useful to you, subscribing helps you stay grounded in process rather than headlines. The goal is not to be early, it is to stay aligned as conditions evolve. As phase pressure builds, discipline tightens. Risk sizing matters more than conviction. Optionality becomes valuable. We do not chase narratives. We do not anchor to dates. We wait for confirmation. This interview is valuable because it highlights real stress points. Credit credibility, dollar confidence, long-end funding. We do not need certainty. We just need to respect the signals when they appear.